Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Halftime Roomies. We're your hosts Thomas Joseph and Yashraj Singh Dillon. And today's episode is on the Toronto Huskies. Is it Toronto Huskies or Toronto Huskies?
I think it's Toronto.
Toronto, right?
Toronto, yeah, Toronto.
Okay. So the Huskies were Toronto's first professional basketball team, and they were established in 1946.
Huskies!
Is that what Huskies do?
Yeah.
They don't ow or anything. They just go Huskies.
Yeah, I had to do that, man. It was in my mind for a long while. I had to get that out. But coming back to reality or the past. So in 1946, actually, a group of owners and operators across America or North America, they met in New York City to establish the BAA, the Basketball Association of America, which was the precursor to modern time NBA. Majority of the owners were NHL owners, and the main objective for them was to actually fill up the stadiums because a lot of seats were going empty in these arenas. So only one Canadian delegation was actually invited to New York City, who were the Maple Leaf Gardens. So a franchise cost around 150K. And so the Huskies were mostly funded by Bay Street backers. So Bay Street had a huge say in the Huskies formation back then. And Eric Craddock, who was the co-owner of the Montreal Alouettes, was a major partner in forming the team.
And for those of you who don't know, an alouette is basically what the French refer to as a small potato.
Yeah, Aloos.
An alouette.
Yeah.
Yes, then on November 1st, 1946, the first ever game of the BAA, which then came to be known as the NBA, was played right here in Toronto itself. So the Huskies were hosting the New York Knickerbockers, who, like we all know now, are the New York Knicks. And they opened to a crowd of just 7,090, which I always kind of find like a little surprising because, like, Canada, I mean, basketball was invented by a Canadian
Yeah.
dude, right? So I would
Yeah.
expect that they would open to like a slightly larger crowd than
Yeah,
that.
but I think back then, like 7,090 was probably the population of the city itself. So
That's true.
The whole
yes.
town came to watch the
Yeah,
Huskies.
no immigrants then, no.
Yeah.
That's why.
Yeah.
So yeah, but like because it was only a crowd of 7,090, they wanted to like fill up seats. And the arena started announcing all these kind of promotions. And one of the promotions was that anyone who was taller than their tallest player, who was this guy named George Nostrand, would get free admission for that night. And they had like a whole bunch of like sales promotions like this. And anyway, so the game starts, and Ozzie Sheckman, he scores the opening basket for the Knickerbockers, and that also becomes the first ever basket scored in the BA or NBA history. So in that 1946 season itself, like the attendance started dwindling, and this is when they kind of had to resort to more of those sales promotion tactics. So one thing that I was reading was what they did was to try and bring in more women into the sport. What they were offering was silk stockings to ladies to come to like attend the game, and they would get like a free pair of silk stockings, which was very much in demand at that point because it was just after the war and there was no silk available. But as anyone with half a brain would expect, what happened was women would come, they'd get their one pair of silk stockings, and they never showed up again.
I mean, it's like somebody offering you silk boxers to show up for a game.
Yes, knickerbockers.
Knickerbockers. Yeah, knickerboxers.
Yeah, and so this is basically like this is again like just a testament to like how they were still trying so hard to like get people into the game, but it didn't really take at that
You know what
point.
they were missing back then?
What?
Marketers.
That's true, man. Fuck, if only we were there.
Yeah.
So so attendance started to dwindle, and then the Star reported that players had even started to form into cliques, and there was like around 2 or 3 cliques, and then they rarely even spoke either. And their coach at the time, who was Ed Sadowski, his coaching was really openly challenged at that point, and he even quit just a month into the season itself. The Huskies finished the season with a record of 22 wins and 38 losses, and they didn't qualify for the playoffs. The Toronto Sun, they estimated that the owners lost around $100,000 in just one season of operations itself. And then as things go, the team folded just after 1 year in existence.
Yeah, it was quite unfortunate because as the team folded and the BAA merged with the NBL and the NBA was formed, I think basketball just boomed across North America and it just grew with all the legends back in those days and the Celtics and the Lakers and they all just took over back then. And Toronto I think really missed out on a huge opportunity. But yeah, so fast forward to 1993 and NBA announced that Toronto would get a team soon. And in '95, actually, when the team was being a new name was being considered for the new Toronto team, the Huskies was a name that really came about. I think a lot of fans were in favor of renaming them the Huskies. The one problem was that the Minnesota Timberwolves already existed, and the logo was ruled out to be too similar to actually consider for the Huskies. They held a nationwide contest where people would submit names for the team, and Raptors was a name. I think the top 6 or 7 picks eventually for the final round, Raptors made it to the final round, and that name was picked. What happened was there's a group of fans actually who created a channel or a website called TorontoHuskies.org, and these fans are actually fanatics for the Huskies. So they've been lobbying to actually rename the Raptors even now to bring back the whole Husky name, the whole Husky culture, and just get rid of the Raptors. It seems like they just want to bring back part of what was Toronto's history back then. But what the Raptors did do is in 2009, on December 8th, they introduced a throwback to the Huskies jersey, and they actually wore the jersey I think 6 or 7 times during that season. In one of the games, which was against the Knicks, they did wear that jersey, and this time they actually won.
Wow, that's surprising for Toronto.
Yep.
That doesn't happen very often.
Yeah, it doesn't happen very often, especially back then. I mean, I think it left a very big impression on Toronto. Like basketball has grown so much, the influence and the culture has come about so much in the city. Vancouver used to have the Grizzlies, but then they were taken away and sent to Memphis. So now Raptors stand as the only Toronto team. But like some fun facts from the original Huskies. So none of the head coaches or interim coaches in that 46-47 season ever coached another professional basketball game again.
That shows how shit they were. No?
And of the 20 players who actually played for the team, only 5 would play 10 or more games in their career after that season folded. So it was just like things just fell apart in that season. The Philadelphia Warriors, who are now the Golden State Warriors, won the title in that season, led by legendary Hall of Famer Joe Fulks. And eventually the 10 BAA teams and 6 teams from the NBL would merge to form the NBA 3 years down the line. So in 1950, the NBA was formed with these 16 teams. Eventually it was narrowed down to 11 teams. So 11 teams played the first season of the NBA in 50. And of the original 16 founding teams, only 6 remain active. And the Knicks are one of them.
It's like, why is it called the NBA, like the national thing, when there's 2 nations, man?
Because it was
America and Canada.
because
Why is it the-
when it was formed, it was just the American teams, right? Because the
Yeah.
Canadian teams came way like 50 years down the line. So when they formed the NBA,
Huh.
it was just the Raptors, the Huskies were done by then.
Yeah.
So there was no other Canadian team. It was
Yeah,
just
but even
American
before
teams.
then, even if the Basketball Association of America,
Yeah.
why invite Canada if there's a Basketball
It's,
Association of America?
as they say in America, I don't know what they say in America, but
That's why we live.
yeah, that's what we live in Canada, man. It's I don't think for most Americans anything exists outside America. So,
True,
I mean, they call their baseball championship the World Series.
Yes,
That just shows the
the deludedness.
the pompousness.
Pomp.
They're a bunch of pompies. Yeah, so the 10 remaining teams from the BAA and the 6 remaining teams from the NBL would eventually form the NBA 3 years down the line. And of those original 16 founding members, only the Knicks remain intact today as they were back then. And that, our friends, is a lesson in history of what the original Canadian basketball team was before the Grizzlies, before the Raptors.
So, as usual, thank you for watching our video. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel.
Yep.
And are you going to talk about the podcast that we haven't done in 3 weeks?
You know what? We should do a podcast now.
We
actually.
should do the
We should do a
podcast.
podcast. Yeah. So do catch our previous episodes on Halftime Rumors podcast at available on Spotify, Google, and Apple. And with that, I think it's
Toodles from us.
cheerio. Skis!